Summary of the Assam Tribune, 9th to 11th September 2020. Number 1. Political Party. The Election Commission of India lists political parties as national party, state party, or registered or unrecognized party. The conditions for being listed as a national or state party are specified under the Election Symbols Reservation and Allotment Order 1968. Number 2. Convalescent plasma therapy or CPT. This therapy aims at using antibodies from the blood of a recovered COVID-19 patient to treat those critically affected by the virus. This therapy's concept is based on the premise that the blood of a patient who has recovered from COVID-19 contains antibodies with the ability to fight the virus, and a recovered patient's antibodies, once ingested, will begin fighting the virus in the patient. However, as per latest ICMR report, the therapy is not helping much to reduce the mortality rate of COVID patients. Number 3. ICMR or Indian Council of Medical Research. It is the apex body that is responsible for the formulation, coordination, and promotion of biomedical research. It receives funding from the Ministry of Health and Family Welfare and the Department of Health Research, Government of India. Number 4. Afghanistan. Afghanistan is a landlocked country at the crossroads of Central and South Asia. It is bordered by Pakistan, Iran, Turkmenistan, Uzbekistan, Tajikistan, and China. Kabul is its capital and Afghani is the currency. Durand Line is the border between Pakistan and Afghanistan, which also slightly touches India in the Pak-occupied Kashmir. Durand Line was fixed by British civil servant Sir Henry Mortimer Durand and the then Afghan Emir Abdul Rahman Khan in 1893. Lord Lansdowne was a viceroy of British India at the time. The Association of Southeast Asian Nations is a regional organization which is established to promote political and social stability amid rising tensions among the Asia-Pacific's post-colonial states. The 10 member states of ASEAN are Brunei, Cambodia, Indonesia, Laos, Malaysia, Myanmar, Philippines, Singapore, Thailand, and Vietnam. India is not a member of ASEAN. The motto of ASEAN is One Vision, One Identity, One Community. Its secretariat is at Indonesia, Jakarta. Number 6. Ranjitsinghji Jadeja, 1872 to 1933. Sir Ranjitsinghji Jadeja, often known as Ranji, was the ruler of Indian princely state of Nawanagar from 1907 to 1933 as Maharaja Jam Sahib and a noted test cricketer who played for the English cricket team. He is the only cricketer to have scored 2 centuries on a single day in a first-class match at Hove in August 1896. Number 7. Guwahati Municipal Corporation or GMC. It is the only municipal corporation in the entire Northeast. The Guwahati Municipal Corporation Act was passed by the Assam Legislative Assembly in 1969. Accordingly, the GMC was constituted in the year 1974. The members of the GMC are called councillors. They are elected directly and hold the term for 5 years. The councillors elected one mayor among themselves. The mayor is the political executive of the corporation and presides over the meetings. The state government appoints a senior officer as the commissioner of the corporation. He or she is the real executive head of the corporation. The election for the GMC is conducted by the State Election Commission or SEC. Number 8. Rajya Sabha Deputy Chairman. The Deputy Chairman of Rajya Sabha is elected by the members of Rajya Sabha among themselves. The Deputy Chairman performs the duties of the Chairman in the event of vacancy or absence. The Vice President of India is the ex officio Chairman of Rajya Sabha. The deputy chairman writes to the chairman if he wishes to resign. Number 9. National People's Party (NPP). The National People's Party got the status of national party in 2019 after it was recognized as a state party in 4 states: Arunachal Pradesh, Manipur, Nagaland, and Meghalaya. It is the eighth party to get a recognition of a national party after Indian National Congress, BJP, BSP, NCP, CPI, CPIM, and Trinamool Congress. It is also the first party from Northeast India to be recognized as a national party. Number 10. GI tag for Gamocha. A geographical indication or GI is a name or sign used on products which corresponds to a specific geographical location or origin. There are some differences found in the application seeking GI tag for Gamocha submitted to the GI registry by the Institute of Handicraft Development, Golaghat, and the State Handloom and Textile Directorate. The differences over the types and uses of Gamocha between the two are not going to help its cause if a consensus is not evolved on the issues by the Assamese society as a whole. The other products to have a GI tag from Assam are Muga silk, Karbi Anglong ginger, Tezpur lychee, Johar rice and Boka chow. Moving forward to 10th September. Number 1. Sputnik V Vaccine. It is the world's first coronavirus vaccine to be registered. It is developed by Gamocha Scientific Research Institute of Epidemiology and Microbiology, along with the Defense Ministry of Russia. Russia has decided to name its first COVID-19 vaccine as Sputnik V for the foreign market, since this name is a reference to the first satellite of the world. Number 2. Rafale. Rafale is a twin-engine medium multi-role combat aircraft. It is manufactured by the French company Dassault Aviation. Dassault claims Rafale has the capability to perform several actions at the same time. Rafale can carry out both air-to-ground as well as air-to-air attacks. It can also carry out interceptions during the same flights. The aircraft is fitted with an onboard oxygen generation (OBOGS). Number 3. Padhna Likhna Abhiyaan. Union Education Minister has launched the Padhna Likhna Abhiyaan on the occasion of International Literacy Day on 8th September. The principal target of the program is to impart functional literacy and numeracy to 57 lakh non-literate and non-numerate adults in both rural and urban areas across the country in the age group of 15 years and above. Priority will be given to districts with female literacy rates less than 60% as per latest census. Number 4. Narcotics Control Bureau (NCB). It is constituted by the Government of India in 1986 under the Narcotic Drugs and Psychotropic Substances Act 1985. It is the apex coordinating agency for narcotics-related cases under the Ministry of Home Affairs. Article 47 under Directive Principles of State Policy of the Indian Constitution directs the state to endeavor to bring about prohibition of the consumption, except for medicinal purposes, of intoxicating drugs injurious to health. Drugs. Number 5. National Investigating Agency or NIA. It is constituted under the National Investigation Agency Act 2008. It is a central agency. It investigates and prosecutes offences affecting the sovereignty, security, and integrity of India, security of state, friendly relation with foreign states, counterfeiting of currency, terror attack, etc. It is headquartered in New Delhi. Number 6. Inclusion of additional areas into Kaziranga National Park. The Assam government has approved the addition of 30.53 square kilometer to the 884 square kilometer Kaziranga National Park or KNP. The additional areas straddled two districts, Nagaon and Sonitpur. It is a move to consolidate the wildlife areas, anticipating better wildlife conservation and reduction in human-wildlife negative interactions in the future. The three additions are habitat corridors and would provide connectivity to Orang and Nameri National Parks across River Brahmaputra from Kaziranga National Park and Tiger Reserve. Designated UNESCO World Heritage Site in 1985, The Kaziranga National Park and Tiger Reserve has an estimated 2,413 rhinos and 121 tigers. Number 7. GST Compensation. The Constitution 101st Amendment Act 2016 was a law which created the mechanism for levying a nationwide GST. GST compensation was a provision to compensate the states for loss of revenue arising out of implementation of the indirect tax. It was agreed that revenue shortfalls arising from the transition to the new indirect tax regime would be made good from a pooled GST compensation fund for a period of 5 years that is set to end in 2022. This CARPAS in turn is funded through a compensation cess that is levied on so-called demerit goods. Number 8. ISA, International Solar Alliance. It was launched in 2015. It is a coalition of solar resource rich countries lying fully or partially between the Tropic of Cancer and the Tropic of Capricorn to specifically address energy needs by harnessing solar energy. ISA is an Indian initiative that was launched by the Prime Minister of India and the President of France on the sidelines of the Conference of Parties COP21. The ISA's major objectives include global deployment of over 1,000 gigawatts of solar generation capacity and mobilization of investment of over $1,000 billion into solar energy by 2030. The interim secretariat of the ISA is a National Institute of Solar Energy Campus, Gurugram, Haryana. Number 9. National Bamboo Mission (NBM). It is implemented as a sub-scheme under the Mission for Integrated Development of Horticulture, Department of Agriculture and Cooperation (DSC), under the Ministry of Agriculture and Farmers' Welfare, implemented the centrally sponsored scheme to harness the potential of the bamboo crop. Recently, government launched 22 clusters in Assam, Nagaland, Tripura, and 6 other states. This is aimed to increase bamboo export from the country. Government has amended the Indian Forest Act 1927 in 2017 to remove bamboos from the category of trees. As a result, now anyone can undertake its cultivation and business in bamboo and its product. Number 10. Gross Domestic Product. It is the final value of the goods and services produced within the geographic boundaries of a country during a specified period of time, normally a year. GDP growth rate is an important indicator of the economic performance of a country. India's Central Statistical Office (CSO) calculates the nation's gross domestic product. Moving forward, 11th September, Black Gold Museum. Number 1. Saudi Arabia's Ministry of Culture has announced plans to set up a Black Gold Museum, the first ever permanent creative museum on oil in Riyadh in July 2022. It will provide creative narration of the role of oil in human life, from its being a raw material to its contemporary formations through innovative artworks based on contemporary concepts. Saudi's capital is Riyadh and its currency is Saudi Riyal. Number 2. Antibody. An antibody, also known as immunoglobulin (IG), is a large Y-shaped protein produced mainly by plasma cells. Antibody is used by the immune system to neutralize pathogens such as pathogenic bacteria and viruses. The antibody recognizes a unique molecule of the pathogen called an antigen via the fragment antigen binding variable group. Number 3. Central Vigilance Commission (CVC). The CVC was set up by the government in February 1964 on the recommendation of the Committee on Prevention of Corruption headed by C.K. Santhanam. In 2003, the Parliament enacted CVC Act conferring statutory status on the Central Vigilance Commission. CVC is the apex vigilance institution free of control from any executive authority. It monitors all vigilance activity under the central government and advises various authorities in central government organizations in planning, executing, reviewing, and reforming their vigilance work. The CVC is not controlled by any ministry or any department. It is an independent body which is responsible only to the Parliament. That's it. Thank you for today.